What's up, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Falsebound Kingdom fans alike? With April 20th officially now behind us, that also marks the end for the FBL, Falsebound League Season number 4. And now, officially, I can make this short little sweet video to talk about the final standings. Who won and who's moving into what division for Season number 5. So, without further ado, let's just talk about what does that all mean. Well, if you guys haven't been caught up, I mean, obviously I haven't been making any content in regards to the FBL recently because, well, I finished my run back in March, right? So we allowed a nice wide berth of time for a lot of people. Everyone has busy lives and stuff to get their runs done. And as an end result, I finished mine quite early. Though those VODs are still up there, you definitely can go check them out. That being said, what we did this year was a little bit different from previous years, previous seasons. We had enough players, enough people. The Discord's been growing, thankfully, very well, and we had a lot more players and people interested in being coaches and playing the Draft League format, playing the Nuzlocke style runs of the game. So we ended up with a total of 16 people, enough to split into 2 divisions, which we split into Obelisk West and Slifer East. Now, going to be renamed next year for Slifer Red and Obelisk Blue, respectively. Sort of going more on the GX style idea. So either way, we split up the 16 people into those divisions, and in this year, depending on where you landed by the end of the standings, the top 4 of Obelisk would stay in Obelisk, and the top 4 of Slifer are going to move over to Obelisk for next year. So basically making Obelisk the division to be in for the top tier players, and then for Slifer to be the up and coming, let's try to punch your way back up into Obelisk were that to be the case. So, but with all that out of the way, let's just see what happened. And why don't we start? We can start with Obelisk. I think we can fairly start with Obelisk. So yeah, it's the division I was in after all. So let's talk about it. In first place, so once again, the top 4 get to stay. So they're all winners, but the one who actually won the entire division of Obelisk West was the Detroit Red Eyes. The Red Eyes Black Dragons themselves, run by Plays, with a grand total score of 1,900 life points. He only lost 2 monsters. I mean, damn is all I can say. Congratulations, but damn. That's all I can say about that. There's nothing more to say, realistically, but congratulations on that one. And lo and behold, in second place is yours truly. Even after my heartbreaking start, which is still up on the channel, and has been memed a little bit, I did end up in second place overall, though I was one of the earliest people. I think I was 3rd or 4th to actually finish my run overall out of both divisions, out of all 16 players. So my score ended up being about 1,200, but that was enough to keep me in not only in the running, but in second place. So I ended up with a total life points of 1,200. Following us after that happens to be ZZNap of the Montreal Moss, and he ended up with 750 life points, which he gets clowned a little bit for that because he was one of the guys really helping doing the programming and the mods and stuff like that. He's one of the main guys to really work on this particular Kaizo mod for the game and stuff like that. So but he had a good time, and I was only able to watch some more of his earlier streams. I don't really know what happened in the later streams. Obviously, I know what he lost, but I don't exactly know how it all went down. So maybe it was bad luck, maybe just some critical hits that went awry. Who is to know? But still, 750, he still crosses the finish line in 3rd place. And in 4th place, once again, you'll see that 3rd, 4th, and 5th were neck and neck. It was actually quite a tight race there as far as life point total, because all these players finished the race. ZZNap in 3rd. Then Marshall, a new player, brand new to the Draft League format, like a lot of these people are, of the Washington Time Wizards, wins out with 650 life points remaining. So he did quite well as well, so congratulations to, once again, Marshall, and to all 4 of us who managed to keep our names in the Obelisk division. So that's really fantastic as far as all that goes. In 5th place, is Smoke of the New York Ninjas. Now, the thing about that is he was actually the first one to finish the entire thing. Out of all 16 players, he was the first one to finish, and he had a bit of a struggle there. He had a bit of a struggle, and I didn't watch most of that because I tried to go in blind, which I will not be doing for Season 5, regardless what mode or mod we play, because that sort of screwed me a few times, all the changes and differences and stuff. So I didn't want to spoil myself, but he hit the ground running, I should say, and there was some stuff that sort of surprised him and stuff that obviously didn't go his way, but with 550, he still remained as completing the run and ended up with 550 life points for 5th place. Now, after that, we have a little bit of difference here. We have our official first loss in the Obelisk division, which is Paul of the Las Vegas Axe Raiders. Originally, Paul took over for someone who dropped out immediately. They were the Minnesota Silver Wolves, and last minute I ended up asking Paul, what team do you want to be, what logo, yada yada yada, and he wanted the Las Vegas Axe Raiders. So, but yeah, he was a pinch hit. He jumped in, like the day of that we started, so kudos to him for, dropping everything and being able to be a part of it last minute. And he nearly got there. He struggled on the very last mission, and he ended up with 200 life points, but with just one mission away from actually completing it, so he gets 6th place, along with Smoke to go to Slifer for the next season. Then we have Leon of the Boston Blackluster Soldiers. Now, he was looking pretty good. He was doing extraordinarily well, and then tragedy hit. Tragedy hit him in his Yugi team, and it really did a number on not only his life points, but his ability to continue forward, and he was about a mission, I believe, behind Paul, so Boston ends up in 7th place overall. Unfortunately, someone who's been around since Season 1 and has always tried to be a part of these things is Blackthorn. Blackthorn of the Buffalo Barrel Dragons. Unfortunately, he managed to play about twice, and that was it. I think he stopped around mission 8 or 10 or something like that. I haven't heard from him in a while, and now the deadline is over. He ends up in the disqualified and automatically that puts you at the bottom, and he ends up in 8th place. Sorry to see that, of course, and sorry to see anybody who didn't manage to finish. I mean, the game giveth and the game taketh away, has been said multiple times in the Discord these past few weeks. So that's our Obelisk division. So once again, congratulations to the 4 who managed to get there and stay there. And now we'll move over to the Slifer division, where people in Slifer East, where the top 4 will be moving over to this division next season. Now, here in Slifer East, there was a lot more tragedy. I mean, if you think that only a few people not finishing an Obelisk was bad, then yeesh. Let's get underway with Slifer, which overall has our top winner once again, to no one's shock, 4-time champion. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Tom of the Philadelphia Paralyzers with 1,950 life points. Almost a perfect run. Those are the type of numbers only a mother can love. You know what I mean? But congratulations to Tom. Easily taking first place, not only in Slifer East, but in the whole damn thing, beating out plays once again, like he does every year, by just the skin of his teeth, but by one monster this year. So, but kudos to Philadelphia and Tom for taking the top spot. There wasn't really any doubt in anybody's mind, I don't think, but well done, Tom. So, next up was a guy who was giving him a run for his money, cleaning up with a near-perfect score for, I think, just about, other than Tom, just about the longest. I'm not sure on that, but Spin Lord, a new addition once again, of the Pittsburgh Penguin Soldiers. And let me tell you, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they came on strong. They were looking way better than I did starting out. They were kicking ass for a good long chunk of it, with a total of 1,400 life points, and getting 3rd place overall for the both divisions. doing fantastic, just doing really, really well, and we're looking forward. Hopefully, he'll be able to join us again for next season. There was a little bit of humming and hawing about that, but he apparently had a great time, and he'd like to be a part of it if he finds the time, and we all hope to see him back here for next season, absolutely, because at the very least, I was part of quite a few of his streams, and they were just fun to see, just great gameplay. Next up is who got third place is the Atlanta Sword Mistresses of, or I guess I should reverse that, King of Games. King, who is the coach of the Atlanta Sword Mistresses. He gets third place with 1,100 life points. He had a very solid run, more close, spin, plays, and Tom all did far better than I did. King was around about my score and stuff like that, so I found a lot of the things that he, struggled with and stuff relatable at the very least, you know what I mean? So he ends up with just 100 points shy of myself and ends up with a solid third place, very solid, and he ends up coming into Obelisk along with Spinlord and Tom for next season. Following this, with 11 minutes to spare, and I had held out hope. Now, I was long in La La Land the previous night, but just before April 20th was our deadline, California time, midnight, and Dozen Digital of the Seattle Skull Knights come down to the wire, speed run it as fast as he can to get those last few missions off, and successfully doesn't just finish, but manages to take the 4th spot away from Alex and the Louisville Launchers and takes 4th place. Congratulations to Digital. Tom was his biggest supporter in that one, saying, "You got this, you can do this. I'll speed it up with these, button keys and stuff and make it happen, And apparently, I was in bed long while he was doing this. He was doing this about 3 in the morning, my time, but it, just solid. It was awesome to see when I woke up that day, and it was fantastic. So the Seattle Skull Knights doing one of the biggest comebacks, I think, of the whole damn season. Congratulations to Digital, 100%, ending up with 700 life points. He did quite well there to end himself there in 4th place. Now, in 5th place, we have, and once again, just so we're clear, because some of these scores might seem a little off, I should have probably explained this in Obelisk, is that it's the missions that you complete. So if you get so far, it doesn't actually, life points come to account secondary. So life points are basically to determine when 2 people are dead on the same mission, which one, gets a spot over the other, sort of idea, right? Same with how we do the finishes in general. So as a result, some of the scores are going to seem a little off. For example, as I already said, Alex was in 4th place and just lost out to Digital, who managed to finish in time. But Alex had a lot less life points, 100 life points left to his name, if my numbers are accurate. 100 life points out of 2,000 left to his name, and he actually didn't finish. I forget I believe he died on mission 18 or 19, but he actually did not finish. Followed up by, I believe, Cheesy of the Houston Harpies, and I got to see the last little bit of his streams and stuff, quite entertaining and such, but unfortunately ended up with a mission 18 finish with 0 life points. 0 life points left to his name, and still managed 6th place. So you can imagine, here in Slifer, we had quite a few people. The bottom 4, all of them actually failed to reach the end goal. And it was looking like, for a long time there, it was looking like Digital of Seattle Skull Knights, as I said, did it with 11 minutes to spare in the deadline. Otherwise, he would have been just counted as disqualified, right? Because he wasn't able to finish the run, whether you die or you finish. That's sort of, we never really talked about that one in depth, but, either way, he probably wouldn't have been granted 4th place. So it was down to the wire there. We almost had 5 people not finish, and it was down to 4. Cheesy, unfortunately, was another one of them, of Houston Harpies. Mission 18, things just don't go your way sometimes. Things just don't go your way. So Cheesy ended up with a clean 0 life points remaining with no chance of continuing. Now, in 7th place, with 650 life points, is a veteran like myself of the beginning of this league, and that is Graceful. And Graceful, with still 650 life points, 7th place, because got to as far as mission 13. And once again, it's how far you get is what counts first. Life points are secondary, and it was painful to see. It really was. I mean, he gave me, I've known Graceful for quite a long time now, so we were giving each other, shit as I was watching his Twitch streams, and when things went bad, they went really bad. And I mean, you had to feel for the guy and stuff. And Tom was trying to convince him, I know, for last couple weeks that he thought, he could still do it. He could still finish the run, get a better placement and all that stuff. But after all, a bunch of just really bad luck, honestly. Bad crits, bad luck, bad, lucky AI, all that stuff that goes into a game. He was done, so Graceful retired with 650 points gone. I just can't win. So, unfortunately, Graceful with 650 life points ends up in 7th. And then finally, we have 8th place. Now, 8th goes to someone who is also a veteran and been around with minus 150 life points. Which you can get less. You can get a less score than that. Though doing it is quite difficult. A total wipe with only a mission 12 finish. Second Flock. Second did a complete wipe. And I didn't see it. I don't actually know the details of what happened. But I imagine it was really painful. I can only imagine what happened there. So, either way, what a fantastic season, and honestly, the excitement that was, will Digital make it or not? And especially this last week, people just coming down to the wire to be able to finish. We had a lot of late finishes, even though some weren't very successful. We had Paul finish, and obviously he couldn't make it to the finish line, and we had Leon of the... and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Leon of the Boston BLS, Black Luster Soldiers, who was doing really, really well until he wasn't, right? And just stuff like that. So the problem that I found is that a lot of people were rushing to try to finish, and we didn't have a whole lot of great success stories either. But it was definitely exciting here on the last week. And yeah, so those are our standings. That's our final standings and such. So we now know, and once again, congratulations to the top 4 of Slifer. Congratulations to Tom, to Spinlord, to King, and to Digital. And I think Digital has the greatest success story, in my opinion. All of them will be now promoted and be moving on and up to the next division, to Obelisk, for next season. So yeah, congratulations. And once again, no shame on any of the players who weren't able to finish. No shame on any of the players who didn't make it into their top 4. This was a very difficult modded version of the game. Nuzlocking the game on normally is easily a difficult process just in and of itself. And now we've added a difficulty pretty much modifier to the game to just make it that much more difficult. And on top of it, of course, drafting, so that the teams are more balanced. So you're forced to use weaker monsters, so you can't just load up your teams with the best monsters for everybody. So yeah, with all that being said, I hope that everyone had a great time. All 16 of us, I like to think, had a great time. And going forward, Season 5 should be, well, hopefully, I think a lot of people have said that Season 4 is our best season yet. Yeah, that's a pretty fair statement. Personally, I really enjoyed season 1, but that we were still trying to figure out how we were going to do it, and a lot of different changes from season 1 to 2, and now from between 2 and 4, we've had quite a number of rule tweaks, changes, how we do things, etc., etc. So I feel like it's almost unfair to compare them anymore. They're not really the same thing. At their core, they still are. It's a fantasy draft league, playing a game on Nuzlocke. But outside of that, things are a lot different. So either way, though, I had a lot of fun with Season 4. I actually enjoyed not so much playing it. I enjoyed watching other people and seeing their successes and, and stuff like that. So I definitely enjoyed being the viewer rather than the one participating this year, I feel, or this season. But still, I did have fun with most of my streams as well, which are still up on the channel. You can definitely go check them out. Now, as far as Season 5 goes, I'm not as much in the loop now at the end of this year as I was at the beginning and for previous seasons. But I hear that Season 5 should be even better. We're making, the guys are making tweaks to the rules, to how we're going to do the drafting and stuff like that. And I hear it's going to be, even better than this year. We're always trying to improve it and that kind of idea. So hopefully, they work very, very hard. Tom and Zed especially, and I know Plays does a lot of work for it. So hopefully they, get their well-needed rest. But kudos to those three for making such a, fun time for a lot of people. Bringing a lot of people together for this, just we're having fun event. And so as far as Season 5 goes, I've got no concrete information when it's starting or whatever, but I know a little birdie told me in my ear that Season 5 is definitely in the works. Now, I remember that we were juggling the idea of a third division, Winged Dragon of Ra division, originally, West, East, Central, or North, East, South, whatever. But as I said, as of this season, by the end of this season, we've already changed it to, we're not using the West and East formats anymore. We will be going forward with Obelisk like blue and Slifer red and stuff. Basically, doing the GX idea. I don't know why GX was terrible, but that's what we're doing. So I don't know if we're going to have enough players for a third division as far as Season 5 goes. It's been talked about, but it just depends on how many people are interested, want to sign up, how many people from this season are going to come back for next season, and how many new people we're going to have involved. That'll depend on a multitude of factors, obviously. So things are still being workshopped right now. But once I have any information, of course, I will be hosting Season 5 draft, as I've done for all the drafts and stuff up to this point. So definitely that'll be marked and everything like that. So look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been interested in seeing the FBL in all its glory. And definitely go check out everybody else's channel. I don't have links to everybody else's channel, but a multitude of people did stream on Twitch especially and make after videos, on YouTube. And definitely join the Falsebound Kingdom Discord, where we don't just do this draft league format, but we talk about the game, mods, rulebooks, guides, everything, everything Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom related. So definitely join the Discord. I will have a link for that in the description down below. So thank you guys so much for another great season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you back here hopefully for season number 5 of the FBL. Looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. We'll see you back here next time. Sayonara.